I'm ready. Man, oh man, it has been a fantastic week. A large stack of awesome reads that I was able to get in this week. Some fantastic new comics to get into. Large stack of and my stream's playing. And there's a lot of news, a whole lot of stuff to cover to talk about. Some of it is a little triggering, which I'm excited more than anything to get into. It's my favorite part of the internet. Let's go.
Nobody likes a good trigger than you do. No one likes one more.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, man. The internet's meant to be fun. It's meant to be resourceful, useful, and entertaining. When you can just turn something off, it should never be a source of problems.
Mm-hmm.
You feel it causing problems, disconnect, reevaluate, and return when you're ready.
Just sever yourself.
Yes. Yes. We're going to get into that in just a minute. I'm excited to touch on that. And we're going to have to do like a legit stream and invite Taylor Winder, brother John, see if we can convince John's comics with kids to actually watch season 2 and then come talk about it. He might surprisingly be the dissenting voice for Severance. It'll be interesting to talk about, most definitely. What a show. But before we go any farther, don't forget that if you're looking for any fantastic retailer exclusives, con exclusives, stuff like that, Big Time Collectibles has got you covered. Big shout out to them. They send a lot of swag that gets given away on the channel. Fantastic member of this community. Huge supporter of Comics Curing Cancer. Be sure to follow them on all the social medias. If you need anything clean, pressed, or submitted to grading, my homie Justin Comics has got you covered. It's linked in the description of all my videos so you can get right to them. If you have a problem finding them, you can always reach out to me. I can get you hooked up. Huge shout out to ABX Comics and Games, the local comic shop. Sponsor the channel as well as the every Tuesday, the live DC, new DC Day live stream. They sponsor the giveaway for there. So a lot of fantastic people in this hobby, just making it better, putting books in people's hands, spreading the love. And don't forget to hit that join button down below. Become a channel member. You have till the first Sunday of next month to get in for the March Legion loot. Be sure to join in the Legion tier to make sure your name is on that wheel. But any tier gets you loyalty badges next to your name and custom emoji access. But if you join the Legion tier, you also get early access to videos, member-only live streams. All the bonus stuff comes in the Legion tier. But a big thank you to all the Legionnaires, all the supporters. Appreciate each and every one of you. I think we're sitting at about like 80 channel members right now. It still blows me away. It maintains between like 70 to 90.
You got 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks to enter. So
2 weeks. And if you want to know what's in it, if you're in the Legion tier, you could have already seen a big preview for it I posted last week. But tomorrow's video is a CGC unboxing where showcase like the slab that's going to be in it and a few of the books as well. So tomorrow will be a good opportunity to see what one lucky channel member will be going home with this month. And also, as a reminder, I know a lot of people, especially on the Tuesday stream, keep up with it, but the official partnership video with DC Comics is available. I posted it this last Wednesday. So if you haven't seen the second video that I was able to do in partnership with DC Comics, be sure to check that out and leave some feedback in the comments. They're looking for your feedback, your thoughts on the topic of the video. So go help them out. Help me, help you, help me. All of the above. And Heroes Con is right around the corner. Please get your tickets. Come hang out. Come see us. Comics Curing Cancer will be boothing again there. Tabling. Boothing. I like the sound of boothing. We're going to be boothing hardcore, my man. We booth so hard. Last year, we boothed hard and loud. Like, it was the booth to booth at.
They booth like nobody's business.
You couldn't walk within, like, I don't know, like 10 tables of us without boothing with us. It was hardcore. We boothed with the best of them. But let's say hey to some of the people in the chat. Hey, what do you know? Write it up. We got Ruby G. What is going on? John's Comics with Kids was in here just a little bit early. I don't know if he's popped back in, but trying to talk him into watching season 2 of Severance. Hopefully he checks it out. What's going on, Herb? All aboard the Legion hype train. Bought a bunch of Absolute Comics and Ghost Machine. Let's go. Yo, my top 2 recommendations. If someone's like, hey, I need to know something good to read without getting into the deep weeds of all the continuity of this or the little details of your taste in indie stuff, Ghost Machine and Absolute. Just jump in, get in where you fit in, start at the beginning, just hit the ground running. Herb, I'm glad to see you in here tonight. Appreciate you stopping by. Blue Hellion Comics, Dan, what is going on? I'm doing good. Man, it's been a weekend. It's been a weekend. We got Monkey finishing up her last year in the preschool program before she goes off to kindergarten next year. So we have like the whole like little song number that they do and the whole auction night to fundraise for the school, which feel kind of weird fundraising on our way out the door. Like, do you really need my money? But I'll have you know,
I believe they call that endowments.
yeah. I'll have you know, though, it's one of those things where they have like, businesses in the community donate things for you. Then they do like the little raffles for, you buy how many tickets you want, put your tickets in whatever prize you want to win. We won. This is our 4th year at this school, 2 years through Finn and 2 years with Monkey. On our very last one, we finally won something, and it was for the Himalaya Salt Cave massage place. So I'm like, yeah, that's perfect for after Masters Week. Just go take a nap in there, wake up. Fun. I'm gonna need to set a stopwatch because there's no way I'm staying awake for that. I want to make sure I get my money's worth. If it's 30 minutes or if it's an hour, I don't want to wake up a minute sooner.
I gotta find out if you can use that for that.
For what?
Because it had like a list of things on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Either way, it's still a win. A win's a win. If we never use it, it's still a win. I still have where Lee got me that $100, legit, like full on hour massage in 2018 for my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still just sitting in the drawer. Like, I'm terrible. It'd be great to use.
Go get a couple
I was going to say, probably arrived in the mail. That's why he hasn't used it yet.
No, he handed it to me at the Golden Crown. Brian, what's going on? I have Comic Issues did his first live stream this evening. I was able to hop on there and hang out with him for a bit. That was really fun. Cliff on Comics joined as well as the comic bit. It was a good time. Brian getting the hang of the live stream StreamYard thing. It's fun, man. It's fun. We got J-Med, a.k.a. Jonathan Medici 7, a.k.a. Comic Avalon, a.k.a. John Comic Avalon, creator of Eric. What's up, everyone? He's got more aliases than anybody I know.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, we got Evil's Comics in here. What's going on, homie? Good to see you. Sledge, people think I got out of my way to trigger them, but it's not out of my way at all. Exactly. Exactly. I was walking down my lane. That was all that happened. Yeah, people saying, hey. Can't wait to hear Mark's opinion on the biggest endorsement for current DC that I've heard. What is this?
I think that's Mr. Liefeld.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's on the agenda. Let's go. What's going on, Pop? Hello. We got the adventurous one, Joseph Michaels. Evening all. Just got done recording videos for this week. # We Are Legion. All right. Trev broke my heart this week. It's not looking like he's going to be able to make Heroes Con. I was able to meet him last year, short and sweet, but was able to meet him. I hate hearing when people can't make it.
He'll be sorry he didn't see the boothing.
Yeah, that's a bummer, man. There's more people going this year than any year more people that kind of thing than any year. But that's still a bummer, man. Yeah, make sure y'all hit that like button. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm and pushing the stream so more people see it, more people come in and hang out and talk comics with us. My Superman movie prep is almost complete. Secured Adventures 293 and 329 for $20. Couple more, and I'm complete. Any significance to those issues specifically?
I'm sure there are, but I can't think of what they are right now.
Fill us in, Sledge. Fill us in. Adventure. That was a long run right there. Usually the end of the school year fundraiser is to get ready for the next school year. Exactly. And we're not going to be there. I'm so thankful because that's a 1-2 because it's not a public preschool. So that's one bill gone.
Mm-hmm.
But my wife's already making plans to fill that void. Don't worry. By the way, your interview with Jeremy was so awesome. Yeah, Jeremy's awesome. If y'all missed it, Paul and I hung out with Jeremy Adams and talked to him about Green Lantern, Aquaman, Green Lantern Corps. And we did that on Paul's channel. So in the description of all my videos, you can hit the Sector 2815 tab and go straight over there, subscribe to Paul's channel where you can find Paul and myself doing the DC Comic Deep Dive. Guess that key. We do very sporadic. DC. Yes, DC. Very sporadic creator interviews over there as well. So check that out, especially if you want more DC content. You can find it there, as well as the hottest comic book game show on YouTube. It's over there as well. I'm here for the merriment. You're in the right place.
There you go.
Yeah. Mr. Milchek brings the merriment, don't he? All right, buddy, go to bed. Go on now, get. First Legion of Superheroes.
There you go.
Super Pets, I'm
Super
sorry.
Pets.
First Bizarro Legion. I think you've brought both of those onto episodes of Guess That Key. Somebody brought the Legion of Super Pets. I don't remember if that was you, but I definitely remember the Bizarro Legion being on there one week.
Yeah. Yeah, so we play every other Wednesday night. We have one this Wednesday night, 9:00 on my channel. We have WVogs 18, and we have Aggressively Relaxing will be with us.
This is about to be the wildest episode ever.
Yes.
I'm excited for that. Will is such a positive, happy, just enjoyable person. And then AR is like the beacon of just smiling and laughing. Stephen with the C is in the building. What is going on, homie? Good to see you in here. Wild Finn keeps appearing. A Wild Finn is supposed to be going to bed. Yep, a wild night for sure. For sure. So yeah, make sure y'all go check out Paul's channel. The DC Deep Dive tomorrow is going to be the first doubleheader in a while, at least from the absolute stuff. Typically, the show started with us talking about the DC event at the time, covering all the tie-ins, going through every issue of like whatever was really happening at DC at the time. So you didn't have to invest in it. You didn't have to spend that money or get in where you find something you might be interested in. We jumped on the bullet for you. Since Absolute kicked off, really with the DC All-In Special, we've been focusing on that, going through the whole story, full spoilers, kind of just keeping up with it as it goes. And then on the off weeks, we kind of spotlight something that's been happening in this new All-In initiative. But now this is the first week since we've hit phase 2 of the Absolute era. We have the newest issue of Batman, as well as issue 1 of Absolute Flash that both released this week. So we cover both of those in depth. So if you want to know what happens in those issues, if you didn't pick up those issues, that's the place to do it, to keep up with those stories as you go. You can always read a synopsis, but that isn't going to give you all the details like checking out the deep dive and actually seeing in the pages, talking about the events and weighing in on them. So be sure to check that out. Maybe we'll see more AR than just his hands. Doubt it.
Yeah.
Doubt it. AR typically manifests as a Lego these days.
Yeah. He does some sort of a, he usually does some sort of a talk show Lego set. That he
Yeah,
does.
he's got the Lego late night set.
Yeah.
What's going on, Rich? Good to see you in here. Hello, hello. Is it really going to be AR on Guess That Key? Or is it, yeah, exactly. It's his Legos. I mean, it's him with his Legos. Probably both. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so let's get into it. It was a fantastically big week. And we're going to start with tonight's thumbnail. Featured on this thumbnail is something that everyone's excited about. Everyone's been waiting on. And that, of course, is conversation about Lobo. Officially this week, Jason Momoa says his Lobo costume appearance is pretty dead on. And he's on set, he filmed. He did come out and talk about how the appearance isn't a big appearance. It's not a major role in the movie. He just appears in it. But he says that they absolutely knocked it out. That's the comic I love, so I'm really nervous about it. He said it's kind of a no-brainer to play this character. It's pretty big. We look pretty dead on, exactly like the character, and he's pretty rough and gruff. And I'll say the bike is really cool. So they're going all in. I think we're going to get like the absolute comic accurate Lobo here.
And it's not a big leap from what he looks like.
So just put him on a motorcycle, you're done.
Throw some white makeup on him and he's good. You know?
Give him a little mascara, some red contact lenses, make him say words like Bastich, and we're there.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because I think we mentioned this before, but in the movie, one of the reasons why Lobo is there is because actually Tom King has said that this movie is based on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And that in the original pitch that Tom King did for DC, Lobo was part of the pitch. So this, is not too, although he wasn't in the actual comic that actually ended up being printed, he was part of the pitch. So I'm thinking he's going to probably work in pretty well.
Yeah, and it's definitely not based off the New 52 Lobo, as that's a skinny dude with weird little hook blades.
Yeah, and like a tailored suit and things like that.
People are trying to forget that Lobo, as a matter of fact. And outside of that, you really just have one Lobo. Lobo has been one of the most consistent characters from inception till today. I mean, he had the
although it's not really the Omega Men #3 Lobo either.
Well, that Lobo, the only thing different was he was wearing that space suit, that spandex. And the very next time you see him, he's already got on he's not got like a shirt and the necklaces and stuff, but he's got on the jacket, like with the no sleeves. He was hanging out with space dolphins. Like the dude's been consistent. And he was jokey, killer, sadistic in Omega Men #3. He was a part of a group of bounty hunters out to kill the Omega Men, and they show up on the ship. And the first thing he does is talk to the bounty hunter next to him, like, hey, I bet you I can get more bodies than you, and they go on a killing spree to compete to see who can kill the most. Like they're right on with it. 4 different looks in animation with Lobo. That doesn't really count. That's just artist interpretation. All of
Right.
those looks still had the biker jacket, the crazy hair, the mascara eyes. You know, like that's just based off who the artist is, kind of thing.
Yeah, the Lobo from Krypton was pretty good.
Which one?
The Lobo from
Oh yeah, from
Krypton.
the live act. Yeah, spot on as well.
Yep.
Like he did have a little hint of Jack Sparrow in
Yeah.
his dialect.
Hmm.
But I get what you're saying. Like there's like you have like the Man of Tomorrow, the animated series, like
Mm.
but that's just based off who your artist is. Like if I drew Lobo, you'd be like, yeah, that's Lobo, but it looks like you drew it with your feet blindfolded. It looks terrible.
That a bad
I
thing?
did forget that Lobo too. You brought him back up. Thanks, Mark, for making us relive that nightmare. It'd be hilarious if he showed up in the purple and yellow spandex. Dude, that would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Mm.
Like, even if it's just for a minute. I'm assuming based off, like, you know, how it was in the original pitch and he's not going to be in here very long. I'm assuming maybe in the original, what was it, 9 issues, 8 issues? It wasn't a 12-issue series.
Yeah, no, I think it was 9. I think it was 9.
8. Yeah,
9.
I actually got the one up.
Oh, okay.
So 8. Yeah,
There
so
you go.
I bet in that original pitch, he was just in 1 issue maybe. And see,
Right.
like in his first appearance, he's still got the space bike. He's still got the mascara and all that.
Yep.
Pretty spot. The bike got a lot cooler, that's for sure. I remember like he took like one of his bounties, he killed a guy and put his brain in his bike. So he's like forever got this poor guy is built into the computer of his bike. It was wild. That copy, by the way, of the first Spirits of Lobo will be given away in the future Legion lead. I've got a second copy along with that Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. That's future Legionnaire giveaway stuff for when we get closer to the Supergirl movie. So keeping everybody in mind as we go. I get these things ahead of time, man.
Spoiler 2026.
Is that how long we have to wait? It is the only DC film next year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I might as well put those in a box somewhere then.
and they'll never ever see the light of day again.
I'll just leave them back here. Then I keep it. How long? I had Captain America back here for years.
Mm-hmm.
Years. Yeah, it will be. It definitely will be. Hoping it's not the Brave and the Bold Lobo. LOL. Yeah, that one was that whole show was a little more campy, but I think it was like intended to be. The Bat and the Sun Lobo spot on. Pitch idea: a Lobo, Deadpool, and Wolverine team up movie. Who can kill the most? Yeah, they both can put bodies down fast. They both can put them down fast. Let's see what else we got here. Now, this one we're not going to linger on because I might be the only person in this panel or in this chat that cares about this. But I love the Power Rangers. And this makes me sad. Where's Pops? Pops, no. Didn't Disney have Power Rangers for like 1 or 2 seasons years ago? But Disney Plus's Power Rangers show in development with Percy Jackson duo to helm. I don't know who the Percy Jackson duo is. I've never watched the Percy Jackson stuff. I know it's popular enough that it went for a couple movies, got a show. It's got its own like fan base and everything. But I was aware of like Hasbro having something going on with their license at the end of last year. Like they were changing hands or something. The comics were wrapping up due to the uncertainty of it and everything. So.
Yeah, it's does Saban still have anything to do with it? Or are they like 4 owners ago?
So I don't know what Saban's doing at all with it, if he's still attached to it or whatever. I know like he went from like he's the reason they switched from Bandai to Hasbro because Saban, for his first name, Haim Saban, was super good friends with a guy at Bandai for so long for working with him. When that guy got a promotion, he got a promotion to go work at Hasbro. Haim took the license over there and stuff. So I'm wondering if it's just another thing of continuing to follow and work with the people you're used to. I don't know the details. I just know I'm kind of excited to have something new Power Rangers. And at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Whenever I see this word, I get triggered. Like I'm a Disney shill. So this word.
Well, I can tell you the Percy Jackson series hones much closer to the books than the movies do. And it's actually coming back for season 2. So I think probably next year, maybe the end of this year. The season, Season 1 was not bad. I actually kind of enjoyed season 1 of Percy Jackson.
I didn't see it, unfortunately. I remember the movies coming out, and it just fell in a time when I wasn't paying much attention.
Mhm.
I'll be yelling, "What happened to Aquaman?" when I see Jason as Lobo. After Aquaman, The Last Kingdom bomb at the box office, Jason Momoa can't lead no film at all. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom did $440 million worldwide at the box office. Definitely nowhere near the billion, but I don't know what the budget was on that one whatsoever. It's been so long, but that it definitely wasn't a hit for him. I don't think it lost them any money though. I mean, if they did, as long as they had like roughly a $200 million budget, they at least broke even. They definitely was not a success. I loved it. I loved it. That everything, man.
Mhm.
I think everything but Barbie and Oppenheimer pretty much underperformed at the box office last year. And of course Dune too, but that was way back in January or something. We forget it was 2024 a lot of the times, but last year was a terrible year for box office. It was scary.
Mhm.
This year isn't shaping up to be much better so far either.
Yeah.
We'll touch on that here in just a second as well.
Well, they say that. I mean, they say people are hoping that the next Barbenheimer will be Tom Holland, because he's going to be starring in Christopher Nolan's movie,
The Odyssey.
The Odyssey,
Oh, that's gonna be
and
good.
and a week later his Spider-Man movie is supposed to come out.
The Odyssey is going to be good.
Yeah.
Season 2 of Percy Jackson. Yeah. I'm not concerned with Power Rangers going to Disney Plus. Disney have not destroyed 20th century television. Hit show Shogun Paradise. Say something American Horror Story. Hey, Alien Earth is coming as well. They let out the first trailer finally today. That looks amazing. And yeah, 20th Century Fox seems to have been heavily protected since Disney gained ownership of it or whatever. Because Avatar has been fine. I mean, I'm sad that we got that farewell to the 20th Century Fox Marvel stuff. It was great how they handled it with Deadpool and Wolverine, but that was an end to an era. I don't, off the top of my head, Prey, the Predator movie that they put straight to Hulu was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple of, Alien Romulus, fantastic. So all the stuff, yeah, absolutely, Kevin. All the stuff that they've put out, 20th Century Fox has put out is fantastic so far. It seems like kind of like a step up from the previous outings that we've seen from a lot of the franchises they've done.
Yeah, I'm also not sure that a lot of those weren't necessarily done before the actual finalization of the takeover.
Now you're scaring me again. I know things like Avatar, they're not going to be affected. Doesn't matter who owns it. Like you're just nobody
just gonna let him do. You do what you want. Send us the movie when it's done.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, and I mention it almost every time. Like there was problems with, like he had to address Disney to give the studio its money that came in for Avatar 2. Like that made the news and stuff when Cameron called him out for not turning in the money to them or something. I have to go back and pull the details, but Avatar gonna be okay for the Avatar fans out there. But yeah, I'm excited for Alien Earth. It looks fantastic. That's coming fast. And we have a Predator property coming this year that have that animated. I don't remember if it was a show or a film that they're doing where it's like going back to like old school Japan and stuff like that, telling stories through time with predators popping up. There's some really cool fan films out there where predators are like in ancient Japan and stuff. It's really, really fun storytelling with that.
Did you ever see the Batman Predator one?
I saw Batman Dead End, where Batman's fighting the Predator. You have the alien that pulls up the Joker.
Yeah.
That was like 2004.
That was a long time. That was like when YouTube first came out.
Yeah, me and Pops, I found those, and then found this website. God, it was called something multiverse, something where any of these fan films and fan trailers and stuff that you could find back on the internet in the day, they compiled them onto a disc where you can order them, and we even ordered the disc to have them because the internet was like you did the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the way to go. I seen the Power Rangers thumbnail, so I had to tune in to see what you had to say. Yeah, man, Power Ranger fans, I'm going to be keeping up, figuring out what they're going to do with it. I don't know. They did that Power Ranger fan film a long time ago. There was like a R-rated kind of hardcore fan film that I would love to see like them lean into something like that. I feel like the biggest the biggest fan base for Power Rangers are the people that were kids when it started.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many like elementary school kids are watching the newer Power Ranger stuff, keeping up with it, buying toys, and how many are just like grown collectors buying statues and these $200-300 metal Zords remakes and stuff. I don't know. But it's important, play to your audience. But I mean, if you don't keep doing something for the younger generation, you'll run out eventually, I guess. Power Rangers is extremely nostalgic.
Mm-hmm.
Mike liked that season 1 of Percy. Percy Jackson, the series was far better than the movies. You got a lot of Percy Jackson fans. $205 million budget. So yeah, they saw some money from that one.
Mm-hmm.
They scaled back the marketing and come out a little clean. Put in 50% of the marketing. They might have cleared $100 million for it. Might.
Disney might be learning too. Did you see that this week the budget for the 150 million for the Mandalorian Grogu movie?
It's going to be interesting. That's how it should be. $150 million should give you a massive summer blockbuster scale movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a poor example, but Godzilla -1 did it in 15.
Yeah.
I know that's not on par with what like American cinema moviegoers would expect to see in some aspects, but
that's half of what Disney spends nowadays.
Yeah, accidentally even.
Yeah.
You know, despite lying about the $180 million, $118 million budget for Captain America 4, which was a huge lie, which is a huge lie on a budget that had been long reported. Snow White is their newest $300+ million budgeted film that's taken a huge hit. Real quick, Herb said, I've been so excited about Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, Doomsday, Secret Wars, and hopefully one day the Batman. Love these characters and glad to see my heroes on film. Yeah, I'm hoping for some hits. Captain America 4 was fun enough.
Superman will be in there somewhere.
Yeah, Superman. My top 3 most excited films have not wavered. Still Mission Impossible, Superman, and Avatar in that order because that's the order they release in. And Jurassic Park, the next one of those is next on my list for things that I'm the most excited to see this year. There's a lot of good movies coming out this year. A lot of potentially good movies coming out this year. I'm very excited to see a lot of them. So, I'm going on vacation in July. So that's like big movie mega month. So what are we going to see on vacation? Probably take the kids to see Jurassic Park. That'll be the one. But we mentioned it. This one has been getting so much attention for so long. Like it's been probably the most controversial movie to not release before it ever released. Rachel Zegler is Hollywood kryptonite. This girl can't keep herself out of the crosshairs from the internet. She, over the course of this movie we made, said some wild things like kind of crapping on the OG movie, making fun of like the format of these traditional Disney films, all kinds of stuff. And people were clowning on the fact that, the evil witch is by a lot of people's standards more fair than Snow White, as you would put it. So they've adjusted and changed a little bit to the aspect of the story. And
apparently Ziegler and the witch can't stand each other either. So
yeah, so since this is made, since they started working on this film, making it has been a long time. It has faced some reshoots, delays, all kinds of stuff. But world events have happened, and these two people stand on very opposing political sides of world events that have happened. Not even here, overseas, events overseas. And it's wild. It faced criticism and backlash from these first images that they showed that they weren't going to do the dwarves and they were going to do the 7 magical friends. And that caught all kinds of backlash. So they said they're going to do the dwarves. And then Peter Dinklage took to the news and said it's a travesty to hire dwarves to play dwarves in these movies about dwarves. So they decided to make the dwarf CGI, pissing off the entire little people acting community who was railing against the film. And then the film comes out. And this is the craziest part, Paul. The 7 magical friends were turned into bandits who still appear in the movie alongside the computerized dwarves that all work together with Snow White. So really, she got like 14 friends. And one of the real life bandits is a dwarf. So you have a real life dwarf actor playing not a dwarf character alongside computer dwarves, just making the matters worse. So the little people community are so mad. So mad. The film, since it came out, has been getting railed by critics across the board. And I pulled this image specifically to have a more comprehensive look at it. 44% on Rotten Tomatoes, 2.2 out of 10 on IMDb, 74% on Fandango. Metacritic had it at like a 5, 13% on Google, and that's with over, last time I looked, over 4,000 reviews on it or hits on it.
Yeah, like 47 million domestic and another 40 something worldwide. So under 100 million after its first week worldwide.
Worldwide, under 100 million.
Yeah. And they because of all the problems that they've had with it, they scaled back the premiere. They were supposed to do this huge premiere and everything. They ended up doing it at a castle somewhere in Spain instead. And it was
they didn't spare any money for red carpet premieres.
Oh, but that's interesting.
I don't think I've seen a single commercial for it this past week, even.
He's Taylor. Interesting. Talked about Apple TV. Did you see the budget figures for Apple?
I did. So they went from 5. Well, real quick, has anybody in the chat, have any of y'all seen Snow White other than the Adventurous Joe, who gave it an 8 out of 10 on the Adventurous Joe scale? I remember him telling me that Friday, 8 out of 10. What's going on, John Stout? AR, we were talking about you earlier, my man. Looking forward to Wednesday.
He has a plan.
Joseph have a plan. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Now, judging from the box office, I don't think any of us have seen it. Mike has not. Just a whole lot of people have not. Yeah, moving over to Apple, you want to talk about that? They the previous year they had an annual budget of $5 billion to produce content on Apple Plus. Then the following year they scaled it down to $4.5 billion, and they lost still like what was it, like 2 billion, 2 point something billion.
Oh, I just heard $1 billion, but still,
$1 billion. Okay,
that's a lot.
They lost $1 billion. They've got like I think they said they have like 400 and something thousand paid subscribers to Apple TV. So they're looking at doing some things differently. I don't know. I don't know. They didn't talk about their plan moving forward whatsoever that I saw. I don't know if you saw anything.
Yeah, I didn't see. No, I just saw that they had lost $1 billion last year. So,
hopefully it doesn't affect.
They're definitely putting it all on the screen.
Yeah, dude, the highest of quality. Legacy of Monsters, the Godzilla TV show that ties in with the Legacy Monster movies. Season 2 is done filming, so that's in the can. That'll be in the editing at this point and getting scaled to come out. They've already greenlit season 3 of Severance that just saw its season finale this past week, which was ridiculously good. And Ben Stiller's already been talking and doing press saying that it won't be a long wait for season 3. The delay for season 2 was obviously because of the writer's strikes and then the actor's strikes. And I thought season 1 was fantastic. And I still liked season 1 better than season 2 until I didn't. And I love them both. But man, Severance is such a great show. I don't know how many people out there have not seen it. You had to have heard the hype by now. Ben Stiller is a magician with a camera. Like his directorial vision for stuff is just mesmerizing. If you don't have Apple TV, find a way to watch this show. I don't know if you can like rent it on Amazon or how any of that works. Just get Apple TV. It's season 1 and 2 are both out. It's worth paying $10 to watch 19 episodes of a show. That's a killer deal. Like, that's a nice little rental right there. Just get Apple TV for a month. Watch some MonsterVerse shows, some Ted Lasso, Mythic Quest. Check out The Gorge. There's all kinds of amazing content on there. The other one that everyone talks about, Harrison Ford. No, with Harrison Ford.
Shrink.
That's it, Shrink. And Silo is amazing. So much good content on there.
They may have finished. If not, they're currently filming the next season of Silo.
T-Dub said, I love both seasons. I think season 2 did drag a little in the middle, but they both top tier. Yeah, I think they both have different strength and weakness aspects to them, for sure. For sure. And T-Dubs, I was telling Paul at the beginning of the stream, I think the best way that we're going to pull this off is if we just plan like a Sunday night, like, because Paul's burning through it now. He just finished season 1 today. Just started watching it this week. So possibly next week or the week after, see if you and Brother John want to hop on it. We can have like a Severance discussion night. Just do it here on a planned night instead of trying to figure out another weird day of the week we're all free or something. We got to discuss this show with spoiler talk and stuff. It's so much.
It's shrinking, not shrink, Brother John. Correct.
Shrinking.
Right.
probably top 10 shows of all time with potential to move way up if the series ends well. Dude, it's so much potential.
Right now, it's just unknown.
Haven't seen it yet, but looking forward to seeing Snow White. I'm a huge Albert Hunter fan. It seems like the story is regularly Disney live action remake, panned by critics, makes a ton of cash. No, not yet.
Yeah.
It's got the pan by critics so far. I think this one is a little different in the sense that they kind of skewed too far away from the source material. I don't think from a lot of the things I watch of people's talking on it, the main positive feedback was Rachel Zegler's performance. She's undeniably a fantastic performer and singer. It's her off-screen stuff that gets people salty with her kind of thing. But they kind of steered away from a lot of the Snow Whitiness of it. And all of them, all the reviewers and stuff that I saw kind of giving feedback on it, all mentioned the same thing, that the original Snow White movie is one of the shortest Disney films, like Disney princess films. So they really had to fill in a lot of blanks to expand it into like a 2-hour movie or whatever they made it into. I don't know. I probably won't see it until it gets on Disney. I mean, I definitely won't see it till it gets on Disney Plus. And even then, that's just if Monkey wants to turn it on. I mean, she's old enough to pick her own little show.
I did watch Wicked this weekend too.
Oh, finally. What's it on?
It's on Peacock now.
Oh, Peacock. That's a weird place for it.
It's a Universal film.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought like the Oz stuff was under Warner Brothers.
Well, the original movie is owned by Warner Brothers, but this is based on the musical. Universal does a lot of musical stuff, but yeah, it was good. I really liked it.
We gotta check with Brother John, see if Sundays are typically okay for him if I give him a heads up. We gotta see if Brother John's watched through it yet too. Well, there's the man right there. Yeah, John, let us know when you're done with season 2 of Severance, and if and when you are, plan for one of the next 2 Sundays possibly. Make it happen. You guys should do an Invincible night after that. I'd have to watch Invincible. Yo, I've seen season 1 and 2 episodes of season 2. I didn't watch the Adam Eve little mini series, and I haven't watched any more. I'll get to it.
Yeah, they say season 3. I haven't finished season 3 yet. I've seen the beginning of it, but it is supposedly like one of the best seasons.
Yeah,
ever.
like they did the whole like multiverse thing. Everyone was raving about that finale. I've heard nothing but good things. It's I have nothing against the show. I don't think it's bad or anything like that. It's just one of those ones that I just forgot to return to it and then got behind on it kind of thing. Great thing about Severance is they are not guessing and they know the ending. I wonder if they have a definitive plan. Like, we want to go this many seasons. Like, it would be, dude, can you imagine if this show were to not have like all right, we know this is our last season, we're going to write this as our last season kind of thing. Can you imagine if what you just saw was all there was?
Yeah.
Awful would that be?
Yeah, exactly.
That would be terrible. Comedian Brad Williams cracked a few jokes about it. He made fun of Dinklage for it too. Yeah, Dinklage really did a lot of people dirty with his dialogue, because he's such a strong voice in that community, even though he's not speaking for that. He's speaking for himself, but it gets translated as speaking for the little person community.
I saw an ad for a Ricky Gervais special on Netflix, and he was talking about it. And he was talking, yes, I guess it's coming like out Christmas or whatever this year, but he was talking about Peter Dinklage and saying everything Peter Dinklage says, and then he just stops and he says, "Sounds kind of grumpy to me."
Yeah, Ricky's a trip, man. He's got a lot of I think like now he's got like 3 Netflix original specials that are really good. Andrew Schultz just put out a new special on Netflix called Life. And like, man, that dude has developed so much, like in life for one, because like these comedians in general are fun if you like, they start young, and because you really get to see them refine their skill or just not get good and you don't care, but they either get really good and then you like that progression through life. Like, dude through his career has gotten married, now he has a kid, and it's just it's like a whole different man standing up there, but he's so specific and direct and has such a good formula to his new special. Like it's really good. It's really, really good. I love Ted Lasso, Monarch, and Silo. I also like For All Mankind. It starts slow but gets better.
Ted Lasso is officially coming back for another season.
Yeah. They've been teasing it a while. It's cool that they mentioned them. I'm curious to see how they do with that. What is going on, Kenny B? Good to see you in here, brother. How are you tonight? We got Wellborn here. Did it go away from the Snow White source material? Were they brave enough to make the evil queen dance to death in molten hot shoes like the book? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, man. But that would be
I heard that it hews very close to the story of the cartoon, but not the music.
Oh, the original music. They kind of updated any of the original songs and then the original.
I mean, they still have Hi Ho, I think, because I've seen that in a clip somewhere. But
dude, I'll tell you what, like the live action Aladdin was amazing. The Jungle Book was amazing. When we went to theater to see The Little Mermaid, Finn wanted to peel off and see Spider-Man, so Kyle and Monkey saw Little Mermaid and loved it. And we're big fans of The Little Mermaid here. And they said it was spot on. I still haven't caught but clips of it, and it seemed good. That's another one where the girl can sing so freaking good. Like they're drawing talent for these things.
That was the thing for Wicked too. The Wicked Witch of the West. I can't think of her name now, but she is just incredible.
I wish it was on Max, man. I've been waiting this. So I left a steelbook. They had one steelbook copy at Walmart, and Monkey even asked me, he goes, "Ooh, Wicked's out. Can we get it?" And I'm like, "Ooh, it'll be on Max in the next couple of weeks. Let's just watch it there." Now I feel like an idiot because I bet that steelbook's expensive to get. And with it on Peacock, I'm like, yeah, dude, all stuff is always fun. And I've never seen any version of Wicked. Like my oldest, she went through her Wicked phase, reading the book and going and seeing the play and all that. But man, we got Speck in here on his other channel. So y'all make sure y'all check out this channel. This is the creator of Legacy of the View, really cool comic book. But he does a show called Chilling on the Green Box where he talks and interviews people on this show. The green box being, the electrical box that's on the side of the road that you'd sit on waiting for like the bus to pick you up, or after school you're just hanging out with your friends. This is before cell phones, by the way, or before smartphones. You would hang out on the green box. I'll meet you at the green box. So chilling on the green box. Snow White isn't the best princess movie. That and Sleeping Beauty are one of the weaker movies. Yeah, that's a good point. Like even if you just take the original cartoons, like there's not. They're kind of the older ones. So a lot of kids, or a lot of people are just kind of tied to the ones that they were really into as a kid. You hear a lot of Lion King, a lot of Little Mermaid. You don't hear as many people like, "Oh, did you see Snow White? That movie slapped." I don't know. I remember they do Sleeping Beauty already, or Cinderella, one of those two. I don't think that they got a lot of attention back when they did it.
Cinderella did pretty well, I believe. Sleeping Beauty, not so much, I believe.
I don't remember them doing Sleeping Beauty or not. I remember Tangled. Tangled was a huge hit, which was like the CG update of it. I remember Beauty and the Beast. Mm-hmm. That one got like some negative feedback, but I think it performed pretty well.
Yeah, that was the one with Hermione, right? From
I think so, yeah.
The Harry Potter stuff.
The music was weird in it. Mm-hmm. And Gaston's a hero. I don't know what no one says. The guy's like taking care of a village, bringing back food. Like he's, he like says no to all like the village tramps, and he's holding out for like the wholesome girl, fighting werewolves to save the town. Like, and everyone hates him. It's just not even fair. Mm-hmm. Disney going to cater to conservative families just to make money moving forward, with people calling everything woke, pushing political agenda. That's a tough one to approach right there. A lot of people do unnecessarily call anything that they don't like or don't want to like woke. Right. That being said, Disney openly, admittingly pushes a hardcore political agenda for the past 4 years. They're not even secret about that. That was their open goal. That was what they were doing. And for them doing that, it cost them money. You got to appeal to the largest audience possible. So denying either of those things, I think, would be dishonest. There's crazy people that call everything woke, and Disney most definitely had a very strong political agenda for a good long time here that they're definitely stepping away for. They openly said, we're going to go back to aiming for entertainment first, is how I think they put it, because they just want everyone's money. That's a company. Their goal is to make as many people in the audience happy. Where's the balance? That's what any of these studios have always done, unless you have like art house pieces or independent films that are trying to tell a specific message that they know is going to be for a smaller audience. Therefore, they'd have a smaller budget to work with. You don't give someone $360 million and like get them to go out there and make a large part of your audience mad on any side of the aisle. That's just bad business. Bad Monkey is another solid Apple TV show. I don't think I've heard of that one. Bad Monkey?
I don't know me either.
Are we getting set up for a joke here? You might be trolling us. People just like concepts for those movies rather than the actual storyline. I think you're right, man. I can definitely see that. I know growing up, I don't think I ever watched those movies. I think I saw them one time, kind of thing. We didn't have them in my household. We had Little Mermaid, we had Pinocchio, Aladdin. Those are the three big ones that I remember having. We started watching Adolescence. I was going to mention Adolescence. That kind of ties into the Daredevil conversation for tonight. Adolescence is like the #1 show on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like 24 million viewers for episode. Like right off the bat, it had 24 million viewers. People didn't know about this show. It wasn't marketed. It didn't have a built-in audience. It's just a new show. New show coming out. Check it out if you want to. 24 million viewers. Huge hit.
Mm-hmm.
Modest budget. No superheroes in there. No giant monsters. No special effects. No explosions. None of that. It's a British drama show.
Yeah, but it stars the guy from Boardwalk Empire. One of the stars from Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah, his name's Stephen Graham. He played Capone in Boardwalk Empire in the latter seasons. He was in Snatch as Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big draw. Maybe he is in the UK. He's from the UK, I believe. So it might maybe a bigger draw over there. He's been in plenty of things here. He's got a really impressive filmography. Mm-hmm. But it's not a franchise. Hollywood has openly said that they really want to play things safe. They don't really want to do original properties. They want to do stuff with built-in fan bases because of how risky everything is, especially in these streaming days. Daredevil, the long-awaited, anticipated Daredevil, premiered to an extremely lackluster 7 million viewers, which blows my mind. I can't even believe that. Like that's grossly lower than I would have ever imagined. Yeah, that's lower than Agatha. That's lower than the Acolyte. It's lower than a lot of things. Most of the things. I think it's like one of their lowest premieres ever, if not their lowest premiere ever for a live action. That's lower than She-Hulk. Adolescence, 24 million. Huge released. So that's wild. I don't think this is something that I'd ever watch. Not something that I'd want to watch. The premise is dad comes home to the cops raiding his house to come arrest his son, who's like, regular school age kid, for murder. He's apparently taken out one of his classmates, and I don't know the situation. I don't know if he was a bully. He lashed out. I don't know, but I just, I don't know. That doesn't seem like something I really want to dive into. Heard it's fantastic, but I don't know if I want to get into that. I don't know. That's a little too heavy for me. Maybe one day. Give me like the human race invading Klendathu to take out the bugs. You know what I mean? Like, I can handle that kind of trauma. Wicked was so good. Looking forward to part 2. Yeah, that movie did fantastic. I like a good musical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their press, what's it called? Their press tour was, couldn't look away. It was, they're so cringe. Makes me just want to see the movie more, though. I need to check out Adolescence. I heard it's great, but a rough watch. Yeah, I don't know how much you're going to get into it. Or again, the circumstances of the event would have a lot to do with how difficult it might be to watch, but I don't know. It's got some turns. Is Severance a comic book show? No. I don't know if it's just originally written for Apple or if this was a Ben Stiller concept. I don't know who's writing it, so that's kind of sad. I know Ben Stiller's like
created. Just know from the credits, it was created by Dan Erickson.
What else has he done? That sounds very familiar.
I don't know.
Created by Ben Stiller. Oh, the Schultz special was top tier. He killed it. Absolutely. Yeah, it will make you laugh and it'll hit you in the feels too. Bill Burr's new stand-up. Yeah. Was it like Drop Dead Age or something like that? Bill Burr's been one that I've followed since I was in like high school when he was on Comedy Central doing the 30-minute sets. I've seen all of his stuff and watched his entire career. That's another one that's fun to watch him go from being like a bachelor to dating to being engaged to getting married to getting a dog to getting a shotgun and the craziness that ensues with that. It's just been It's just been fantastic. Now he's 60. You know, at the drop dead age. I'm too young to die of natural causes, but not too young to drop dead. Like it is good. Is that a Titan shirt, homemade or from a store? That's an officially licensed shirt if it's on Paul.
I believe it's from Forbidden Planet is where I got it.
There you go. I'm multitasking. Just bought a low-grade Batman 103 for $40. That's a low number right there for Batman. Yeah. This from DC Online Store. First Silver Age issue. Nice.
Very nice.
But is it the first Silver Age appearance of Batman?
Right.
Figure out, Taylor, if you can, definitively, because you know how, especially on CGC labels, like the key factor will be the first Silver Age appearance of this DC character. Right. See if you can find the definitive first Silver Age appearance of Batman.
Technically, it should be October of 1956.
See what you can do, because you know he appeared in a lot of books.
Mm-hmm.
Finding the definitive first Silver Age appearance.
Is he saying that that's his first Silver Age issue that he ever bought, or is he saying that?
No, he has got a lot of Silver Age stuff.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. So it's very hard because I've got the first Silver Age appearance of numerous people, and it was me, Paul, and Dale were talking one night, and I brought up how it's been impossible for me to pin down the definitive first Silver Age appearance of Batman and Superman. You can find like the first Action Comics printed in the Silver Age, first Batman in the Silver Age, first Detective, but what's the definitive first time Batman or Superman appeared in the Silver Age? You definitely notice the development of George Carlin, and how it becomes more cynical as the specials go on through the years. Yeah, going from the was it 7 words you can't say?
Yeah. Yep.
All the way up to him being pretty much like a freaking philosopher of society in his latter years. Love me some George Carlin. Batman 184 for 79 cents. Page missing. Nice. Heard that the day the Earth blew up, a Looney Tunes movie released a week ago was good. Hand-drawn animation. Yeah, it's like a Daffy and Porky story for the most part. Trying to get rent money up, and aliens are
only Warner Brothers didn't release it. They sold it to another studio, something I think it is. And now there was a movie that was made that had Will Forte and John Cena in it. It was called Wiley versus Acme.
Mm-hmm. Like a court case. They're shopping it around now.
That went the way of the Batgirl movie. They basically canceled it and took a tax write-off on it. But now they're in talks with the group that just released that movie to see if they want to release the Acme versus the Wiley versus Acme movie.
That's a good way to put it. I don't use the word woke. I prefer propaganda. Yeah, that's fair. Honestly, I wish Disney would go back to original movies instead of doing remakes, no matter what the story is. Yeah, but that goes to the point like no one's wanting to commit to original content. Except Apple. Apple is doing it. They are doing it and crushing it.
Disney just.
I'm a Samsung guy. I'm a diehard Samsung guy, and I'm happy to shill for Apple. I'm not just a Disney shill. I shill for anything that I think is good and I can put a recommendation on. It's that simple.
Disney just announced Coco 2 this week.
The Disney movie Coco?
Yeah.
That was Finn's first favorite movie.
They announced that was it. Coco 2, it's going to come out in 2029.
That's a long ways away. Bro, that's Avatar 4.
Mm-hmm.
Avatar 4 comes out December of 2029. You're welcome. I know all y'all wanted to know that.
Mm-hmm.
But man, that's a long wait. Finn was just old enough to talk cute, like mama, dada. And so street lights would come on. The kid would be ready to go to bed, but he wanted Kyle to go lay down. So he would go grab his little bink bink blanket, which is a Zack Snyder Justice League, like a 2 foot by 3 foot blanket, which he still sleeps with. He'd grab it, he'd grab his bottle, put him in the same hand, and he'd look at Kyle and go like this and go, "Moan, mommy, moan." And he'd grab her hand and he would make her go to bed. Like as soon as street lights come on, and he'd say, Coco, because you have to turn Coco on. This was her life for 2 years straight, my dude. 2 years straight. Paul just let me know that Coco 2 is getting made by Apple. Hold your breath.
By Disney, not by Apple.
By Disney. Hold your breath. It's coming out in 2029. Yeah, I know. We won't even have a kid. We won't even have a kid that gives a crap by then.
Finn could
will be there to see it.
Exactly.
Yeah, Bad Monkey is a Vince McMahon murder mystery show set in the Florida Keys. Wait, what?
Vince McMahon. You just said Vince McMahon.
Oh, Vince Vaughn. I'm sorry. I've read that shit, Vince McMahon. They did original stuff, Star Wars sequel, Acolyte. Those did great. But that's franchise stuff. That's franchise stuff. A live action reimagining of Disney's Sleeping Beauty exists in the form of Maleficent. It's the sequel, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, which focuses on the villain, Maleficent's life. That's the Angie Jolie stuff, right?
Yeah.
What is going on, Eric? Good to see you in here. Hello, hello.
They're both asleep in their rooms watching Holes.
Perfect. It was hard to watch. Oh, he's talking about adolescence. Has anyone watched The Residence on Netflix? Kyle, have you seen The Residence on Netflix?
The Residence or The Resident?
I think there's just one.
The Resident is really good.
The wife says it's really good. Broadchurch was similar. I've enjoyed Daredevil Born Again, small complaints, but for me, way better than some of the other MCU. It's not the best. I don't enjoy not the best. I'm at the point where I'm just ready to be more critical of everything. The Disney stuff, the DC stuff, it don't matter. You remember I was actually really critical of the Creature Commando stuff. Like I'm like, dude, this is not it. Like some of the episodes hit, but that's weird. Daredevil Born Again episode 4. Here we are.
Mm-hmm.
And I put this up here because I'm not too familiar with Muse, but this is the character that we finally saw in the intro and the outro of the episode. Muse is a serial killer who murders in order to create art. Muse's body acts like a vortex, which can absorb any kind of sensory information that surrounds him, making Muse incredibly hard to track, and even Daredevil struggling to target him. He was created by Charles Soule and Ron Garney on their 2016 Daredevil run. This episode sucked, my dude. I'm just going to call it what it sucked. First off, John Bernthal is amazing. Every second he was on screen was fantastic. Every word he says, you believe. His entire scene felt shoehorned in there, and Daredevil sniffed him out like Scooby freaking Doo. It was weird as hell. Kingpin's getting played out with the Vanessa crap. It's not believable. It's just boring at this point. They did the whole White Tiger court scene to give you some driving force to Daredevil needing to return back out there for justice. The whole, like, you can't ever leave the suit thing for nothing. It was all for nothing because we're into another court case where they're trying to pretend like they're doing some kind of smart social commentary when really you just have a 12+ time criminal fussing at the system for not giving him a slap on the wrist when they even said in the show that he doesn't report to probation. And he just bucks on any kind of accountability to anything he does, and he didn't even steal anything out of necessity. The dude is stealing candy because he said himself he's entitled to having a good dessert from time to time, and in this case he wanted Crunch and Munch. It was very, very tone deaf for real life situations of people getting stuck unjustly in a system that doesn't let them go. When Matt fought tooth and nail to give this guy a slap on the wrist, when ultimately 12-time misdemeanor offender, you're entitled to a $1,000 fine and up to a year in jail per misdemeanor charge. That's what comes with a misdemeanor. The smallest of offense can come with 1 year and $1,000, and you're about to get a slap on the wrist because Matt's awesome, and you're still fussing at him. Like it was crazy tone deaf. This was just the stupidest show of Daredevil I've seen in all of Daredevil, Netflix, and this one, and one of the stupidest episodes that I've seen under Disney, period, since they've taken over the MCU. I didn't get it. I don't know who wrote this. It just was ridiculously tone deaf. It was cool seeing Daredevil's masks, I guess. Frank's awesome.
Yeah. Although, I mean, I'm getting a little tired of him, carrying around that one horn. It's like, like he has to at least, spend at least a couple of seconds every episode looking at it. Well, he doesn't really look at it, but
yeah, that was kind of low blow there, Paul. Low blow. I was talking to Darth. I'm saying optimistic. I mean, a lot of this stuff can still pay off. I'm reminding myself this is I think we're facing a formatting issue, honestly, because it was originally made for an 18 episode season that they scaled back to just 8 or 9 episodes, something like that.
Yeah.
I think that this isn't a season 1, and they've already greenlit season 2. I think it's more of a situation of a season 1B and 1A kind of thing. I think so it's scripted to be an 18 episode thing. So I think that could explain some of the pacing stuff, which doesn't make it any better or worse. It still is what it is. It's just, I mean, it sucks.
I have some hope that we're going to actually see some Daredevil next episode because he's playing around with his, whatever they call those things.
Billy clubs?
Yeah, at the end of the
Grappling
episode.
hooks?
So
I don't know.
nunchucks.
Mike enjoyed it. Small complaints. Tim Stacy enjoyed it. He thought it rocked. I mean, yeah, different strokes for different folks. It's not doing it for me. J-Med said the same thing in his review of episode 4. It sucks. Didn't care about this or that. It sucked. The Frank Castle thing was ridiculously good. It was so good. That scene, that conversation between the two of them was so good that it made the rest look bad. And that happens in movies sometimes where just a specific actor might be in something and they perform so well, it makes the rest like, what are the rest of y'all doing? That's how it felt.
Yeah, but I also heard that that's the only time we're going to see Frank in season 1.
Yeah. That's why I was thinking more of like, this is like a 1A, 1B kind of situation. I hope they just, I'm assuming they have the rest of it already filmed. They filmed it all at the same time, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they just put it out. Like they shouldn't make people wait unless the latter half of this really kicks up. Like Adventurous Joe said, episode 5 and 6 air together this week. And episode 5, everyone hold your breath. We're set good. Kamala Khan's dad is the guest star in the next episode. So there we go. He's supposed to be appearing as a banker at a bank that gets robbed while Matt just happens to be in there. Baton. It's Bernthal. What'd you expect? That's exactly what I expect from Bernthal, from the accountant to Fury, Walking Dead, everything that John Bernthal is in. He's amazing in it. The dude is like next level. He's just cast right and stuff. Like he accepts proper roles. He walked from this initially because whatever they had originally set up for him, he wasn't in it. He's like, I don't like what you're doing with the character. This ain't right. I don't want to be a part of this. And then they retooled it or whatever, and they got him back. So I think this scene that we got with Matt probably was a late addition kind of thing. I think Daredevil is hopefully going to be in the MCU with Love Marvel Knights movie. We got the little tease of him in that last Spider-Man movie, but it would be great to get like a proper Marvel Knights movie. I mean, they're doing it with Mandalorian and Grogu.
I thought he actually said that they were going to, and then they made him basically take it back. Say, well, what I meant to say was, I hope that he's in it.
Yeah, we know he's getting the little special one shot on Disney Plus, but like Moon Knight could use a level up. That one released some mixed reviews. It was spotty as well. It'd be cool to get like Frank and Daredevil and Moon Knight and like a cool little 90s style team up one-off movie. That'd be cool. I like that. That's the biggest thing I've been hoping for, is a bigger Daredevil MCU connection. Yeah, I'm still waiting to see what the MCU does with Ghost Rider in general. I don't know. We've had like the little teases, like Ryan Gosling's going to take on the role, or
Keanu Reeves
bringing Nicolas Cage back. There's all kinds of rumors, but nothing's ever come out of it. We haven't seen a bad interpretation of Ghost Rider. That the films are what they are, but Nick Cage was great in the role. The kid who played him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., who played Robbie Reyes, was amazing. And that was tough. That was super tough. Yeah, we get Man-Thing in there. That'd be cool. But yeah, I'm hoping this. I mean, I was very hopeful for this Daredevil show, knowing that it looked like it was at a time when they were doing a lot of course correcting with it. Like they admitted, we don't like what we have. We know no one's going to like what we have. We're going to hire new showrunners. We're going to come in. And I thought that they were starting from scratch and rewriting it, but apparently they had already filmed a lot of stuff, so they just worked in other stuff. And you can feel it in scenes like the Frank scene where Daredevil literally sniffs him out. Like literally, the dude sniffs Frank out. And it was a long walk. And I don't know why it was relevant. Like it was just, I don't see how anyone else didn't see that. I'm like, dude, what? And he didn't know Frank was there. He did not. He walked in the room for the first time saying, hello. And then he compliments Frank on the place because it's his first time being there. So it was just weird as hell. I love Moonlight, but I couldn't finish that series. It was painful. Yes, it was. Interview with the Russos on Secret Wars was pretty interesting, talking about the MCU needing more focus. Yeah. It's nice of them to say what everyone else has been saying. It's like, I feel like the shotgun approach, just splatter. See what sticks. It's been wild. Think of how many end credit scenes that we've had since Endgame have gone nowhere. nowhere. Black Knight, Blade, little Star Fox dude with Pip, the Young Avengers one with Kamala Khan, Illuminati, just nothing. But to be fair, I'm glad that none of those things went anywhere. I'm super happy none of them did. But it's just weird. Like, you went from being so well, I mean, like, and people don't like to hear this, and they get mad when I say this. Disney bought the blueprint for the Infinity War from Marvel Studios. Marvel Studios started the MCU, but Disney bought it early on. But they still started it with the Avengers thing laid out. You know what I mean? Like, they clearly had that vision on paper. So how much? I'm not saying that like they wrote it letter to letter, but they had a blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
Man, as soon as they work past that blueprint, it shows. I don't care for Oscar Isaacs anyway. He reminds me too much of Pedro Pascal. I like Oscar Isaacs. I'm excited to see him in that. He and Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Yes, he is. Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. He's going to crush that. He's a good actor. He's a really good actor. Yeah, they kind of have a track record of that. I have to admit, Reborn has been kind of hit or miss. First 2 episodes started off strong, agree. But 3 and 4 have been kind of dulled down, agree. Hoping they start to gain momentum again with 5 and 6. That's literally spot on how I feel. Spot on how I feel. You know, we've covered like 3 years worth of ground in these 4 episodes. We did that time jump and stuff. You know, people are like, you got to give him time to become Daredevil again. We've given him years. There's a huge time jump. You got to do something. You ready to piss people off?
I'm ready. Bring them on.
I've been excited to share this next one. So, one of my favorite comic creators, he's like the bad boy of comics. He's always said and done things that rub people the wrong way. That's it. That's who he is. He's unapologetically Rob Liefeld. And yesterday he posted on his social media accounts that currently buying no Marvel comics. They should throw as much money as possible at Scott Snyder and have him bring some absolute magic to them. Dead serious. What he's talking about is he's read some of the absolute lines at DC. I guess he's liking what he's reading, and he's not liking what Marvel's putting out. I mean, he's literally saying what so many people are saying right now. He's mirroring the same opinion that a lot of people are. But man, people love to hate Rob Liefeld. First off, I got to put it out there. The dude has over 100-something thousand followers on just any one social media account. Pick one, and then add it all together. He's got a ridiculously hugely successful podcast called Robservations. So one person, because I shared this on social media and someone said, no one cares what he has to say, which is literally the polar opposite of reality. He has a massively successful podcast, meaning you can only hear what he's saying. You can't even see him. So people definitely care what he has to say. His books sell like hotcakes. He sets records. He's doing his own relaunch of Youngblood with a whole new series. He's doing it direct to customer, bypassing comic shops and selling to them at a later date. He does ridiculously successful live streams whenever he does them. The dude is literally the example of a massive successful creator in comics, even to this day, even with a massive following of haters. But the sentiment just rubs some people the wrong way. I don't know why. But what do you think of this statement?
I don't blame him at all. I'm more. I think he's right, but I'm more amused that people get so upset about him saying that. It's like, what do you care? You know, why do you care that he's saying? You know, he doesn't have the power to make it happen. He's just, he's just spewing his ideas and his.
How about Oscar Isaacs? Dune, Ex Machina. I got look no further than Denny V. Denny V's got you covered, my man.
Yeah.
Guarantee that those are good. Yeah.
He could have said the exact opposite, and the same people would be all up.
That's a good. Yeah. People people that don't like Rob Liefeld don't like Rob Liefeld for reasons that I don't think are actually Rob Liefeld reasons, but
right.
Yeah, I'm biased. I like Rob Liefeld. We talked about how he actually co-signed. I don't want to say co-signed the Stanley movie. He did an interview with the John Lumberjack or whatever the guy's name is, who's putting out that weird Stan Lee documentary. Said that he was willing to do that, and that gave me, I don't know, a little bit of optimism toward the character of the guy that was making the movie. And then Todd McFarlane came out and said the same thing, that he actually knows this guy. And from what he knows of this guy, he seems like he was like the only like positive light in Stan's life at the end, you know. But I thought this was fantastic. I hope that stuff like this, and keep in mind, people were saying, oh, Rob's just wanting to bash this and bash that. Rob has always talked trash, bashed, railed on anything he wants to. He rails on his friends on live streams. He mocks Todd McFarlane and does a Todd McFarlane voice. It's hilarious. He's having a good time being himself, and these people, he has a great Arnold impersonation. Buddy, my son is Joseph Banyan. It's hilarious. But he doesn't work for Marvel now. He's officially done with Marvel. He did his full course, and for the first time since any of us have been paying attention to Rob Liefeld, he has no reason to not speak freely about Marvel Comics now. So what you're seeing, in my opinion, is how this guy has felt for a while. He's sharing those thoughts. It's that simple. But I hope that stuff like this just leads to them hearing it and maybe doing something about it.
And he's not the only one who's had some problems with Marvel the past couple weeks. So
there's been an exodus, right? Do you know the names, or can you fill in the situation there?
Dustin Wynn basically tells how they're absolutely terrible. They give absolutely no money for any overseas printing that's done. The artists make absolutely none. Their page rates are apparently, really bad. And then Rob basically leaned in and said, "Hey, I'll get you a cover. Whatever you want to do, you can do a cover for me. I'll do whatever you want." So leaning in, but there were people that were coming to Dustin's defense, and basically saying, when you work for a corporation, that's what happens. And DC, in some way, and can it be the same in some ways, but they said that DC was usually willing to work with an artist. And so,
yeah, Rob's talked about DC a lot.
yeah.
I love me my DC. I watch Rob streams. I have a lot of stuff that I've got from Rob, like his Fighting American figure that was his like comp one I own, like chiseled, that I got from him right out of his, where he's clearing out a lot of stuff in his personal collection and all that. And I've asked him directly in streams, like any chance of you possibly doing DC work in the future, and he straight up said, like, DC really doesn't like me. And because of that, I don't really like them, and that's fair. That's how we feel about each other, and we're fine with that. Like, the dude is like, how can you not appreciate someone who speaks their honest mind?
Right, but
like,
even having said that, when Jeff Loeb asked him to do a cover,
he said
did it because it was Jeff Loeb.
He wasn't going to tell Jeff Loeb no, and it's like one of the best covers from DC this year. It was amazing. The Long Halloween, Last Halloween Liefeld variant. It was so good that Paul and myself both bought multiples because we're like, we got to share these. I gave one away on my DC stream. He gave one away on the Guess That Key that week. It's been, what a cover. And he did it in like as a love letter to Tim Sale. Like he drew the Joker like Tim Sale would, and it's just, man, he's awesome. I like his art. I like his art a lot. But yeah. But it was interesting. And I shared this on my Instagram. I shared this on my YouTube community tab. Got a lot of interaction on it, a lot of hits on it, a lot of different opinions. Got some good feedback, some good conversations on there. So if y'all have a chance and you want to weigh in and converse with some people talking about their feelings on the current state, because I kind of asked in the post, I shared this and said, like, what do you have more on your pool, is DC or Marvel? Got a lot of people talking about in general is how like Marvel has just shrank away for them. A lot of people pointing out that indies are really dominating for them. That wasn't the question I asked, but it was the honest answer that they had. So, and it made me do a little stop and count. Dude, indies almost outnumber my DC right now, which is crazy. But you got to think, you got like Space Ghost, Herculoids, multiple Energon titles, multiple Ghost Machine titles, and just those few things. Hanna-Barbera, Energon, and Ghost Machine alone puts me in double digits. But it's wild. But yeah, that was super interesting. I liked Rob putting it out there, if only for the sake that maybe it's got to get to a point where they address their business or like the state of their comics. But if they were going to do it, they would have done it a long time ago. I just don't think they care. I'm a massive Marvel fan, and I don't even I don't even Marvel books either. Yeah. I get Hulk and Ghost Rider because I don't want to break the runs up. And Hulk is pretty solid. Philip Kennedy Johnson's doing an all right job. Herb says he feels like people are being too harsh on Russo brothers. R.E. Doomsday. Electric State wasn't bad by any means. We tolerate a lot of basic films like Avatar, which I like, which do well. In my opinion, it's a chance. I think Avatar, you said Avatar, so I'm going to start there. But I think Avatar does so well because remember how I said you have to aim to appeal to the largest audience possible? James Cameron has found the sweet spot. It's sci-fi, it's action, it's adventure, it's romance, there's dinosaurs, there's robots, there's military. It's literally got everything. Not to mention it's the most beautiful film that's ever been made visually. Avatar 2: Way of Water just is. It doesn't have to be your favorite, but it just is. And like it just resonates with the most people. That's really all it is. It's not redefining storytelling. It's not redefining cinema. On a technical aspect of filmmaking, it is.
I was going to say, it is redefining. So that was the big thing with Avatar too. It was like you go see a movie like you've never seen before,
ever.
And it was, yeah,
they breaking world records, creating world records for what they're doing in innovation with film. They are absolutely doing. But in a sense, if you're just a common audience member and you go watch it, it's not like, oh my God, I've never seen a story told that. No, it's like the classic tropes, of like the bad guy wanting revenge, the man trying to save his family, fighting for your home. Like these things are things that resonate with people. They're not new, but it's told well.
Mm-hmm.
It's told well. Fire and Ash is going to break all of our hearts. Like Bob Iger seen it. Like I mean, it's hard to take an honest word from the person who's like really like on the hook for a success or failure of a film.
Right.
The buck stops there, but he said it was something else. James Cameron's wife cried for like hours after watching it. All kinds of reports are coming in saying like we aren't prepared for this film, and fair warning, it's gonna break your heart. Which I'm of the mindset they should have told us that with The Way of Water, with what happened to his oldest son in that movie. That was rough. And then when they plug into the Tree of Life at the end so he can go visit his son again, and where he's fishing, and like, dude, it wrecked me. Like that family stuff, I'm soft for that stuff, big time. It was rough, but I'm really excited for it. But I'm still excited to see the Electric State. Me and Paul talked on that last week. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't really speak on it. I'm a Millie Bobby Brown fan. I like Chris Pratt. I like random wild stuff like that. Visually, it looks awesome. So it was kind of weird. All the reviews that I read, it looked like they copy and pasted each other's homework. They're like visually good, retreading common tropes from the genre, but it lacks soul. Like they all have the same thing. But that's okay. Just like with Avatar, you're using common tropes. That's what's making your audience resonate. But Avatar's got soul for days. So I don't know. I'm excited to see it though. I'm definitely going to watch it. Yeah, Liefeld has said more than once how Marvel has turned into complete crap, and he can't wait to be done with him. I told DC to hire this man already. I don't know. I don't think DC's going to want to work with him. It's like he don't want to work with them.
After the New 52, I don't think there's anything that's going to bring.
No, he called or wrote Snyder a letter. What did he do?
I don't recall exactly.
Cliff was talking about it earlier tonight when we were talking about my post of that. He reached out directly to Snyder and said, your stuff's only selling so well because you have Batman or this or that. And now he's like giving him the man his flowers, which is, I mean, that's an honest guy right there. He's like, yeah. What's going on, Tony? Good to see you in here. Herculoids. That's right, dude. It is solid. I put up a couple of posts with Herculoids today. I'm enjoying the Hanna-Barbera stuff. Electric State was not good. Formulaic, and the acting was flat. Ugh. I haven't bought Marvel since I came back in 2019. I have collected an equal amount of DC and indie. I think 2019 was about when I gave up the ghost on it. In 2019, I think is when Empire came out. That was their big event that year. Bought it, was reading it, and then I'm just like, dude,
it's now on Pop's Attic.
It's been on Pop's Attic forever. No one buys it. Pop's Attic, he reposts it when he gets through the whole thing. We were talking about that today, the reposts and stuff. And it's when I read that, I'm like, yo, why would I keep buying this? So 2019 is when I'm like, dude, I'm not I'm done with this. I'm done in being invested in this universe. So what I would do is I would pick up number ones of characters I like still, but I wouldn't hang in there if it's not going to be good, which is crazy for me. But it's been years now I've done that with Marvel. So I just hang in there for Ghost Rider and Hulk. I love Avatar: The Way of Water. I just put it on again the other day. Yeah, dude, it's so good. Avatar was easy on the eyes, but wasn't deep. Exactly. Yeah, they're not trying to redefine anything storytelling wise. I'm just in grumpy old man mode tonight. I love it. I love it. Same sledge as always. I don't lower my standards because they do. You make it good, I'll say it's good. That's how I feel. I think like I try to play too cautious sometimes on here because like I don't want to come off as a hater. I hate those rage bait channels because there's channels out there that just talk negative about stuff because they know it gets good views. I don't ever want to be associated or mistaken for one of those channels. So when we do like movie reviews on big, I try to make sure I get people that like the movie if I didn't like the movie because I don't want it to come off that way. But yeah. Herb says, loving the Ultimates books, getting all of them. There you go. Yeah, I think the Ultimate stuff is doing about the best for Marvel right now. I read the first 6 issues of the Spider-Man stuff, then dropped it. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't nothing to blow me away. I picked up a few of the Ultimate issues along the way, just the ones that caught some attention. Number 1, I think it was number 4 or 6 or something like that. When you got the Doom backstory, that was a good issue. But yeah, I'm just not invested. My pool list is too big to feel too invested in stuff. It's got to be really good. Last Marvel, anything that I read all of was Avengers Twilight. Nelson, the owner of Big Time Collectibles, I was talking with him. He messaged me. He said, Mark, just give you a heads up. This book called Avengers Twilight is coming out. Don't miss it. I'm like, all right, I won't. And he didn't let me down. It was amazing. Chip Zdarsky wrote it. It was like Marvel's Kingdom Come. It was amazing. It was really good. My father has Herculoids, can't sit on the toilet some days. Oh, that's a bummer. I shared the cover today, but the cover for issue 2 that Matina put out, me and Pops were at the shop, and look at Gloop and Gleep. But look, can you see the skeleton in there?
Yeah.
As an actual bone structure. I'm like, I never have ever even thought of that idea. They're just pudding to me, but that's crazy. And Igu up there, just beast mode. The interior art gets a little weird in some places of it. The artist feels like not drawing face details on panels where they're too big to not draw face details. But other than that, it's all right. People can like things I don't. It's not their fault. They're wrong. I like to use the phrase, you can't teach taste. You like what you like. No worries. You can't teach taste. Yeah. I got a couple more things on here worth mentioning. Something that is fantastic, and another one that kind of can split an audience pretty quick. It was the 4-year anniversary of the greatest comic movie in the past decade. Zack Snyder's Justice League premiered on Max 4 years ago. This week, Zack Snyder put out a statement saying that he's still humbled by the fact that this exists at all. Big thanks to all of you that made it happen. If you have a spare 4 hours, go give it a watch. I've watched this movie more times than I can count, literally. Lost count a long time ago. Love this movie. Love everything about this movie. This movie was so important and impactful. It's still talked about every single day, all over the internet. All over. You see Snyder this, Snyder that. People don't talk DC stuff without bringing up Snyder stuff. Still resonates. All of this stuff was financially successful. It was just hugely divisive. Massive amounts of people that loved it and too many vocal haters. And crazy circumstances. Everyone knows the circumstances of what happened with the film with the Joss Whedon have to come in to finish it. And ultimately the fan response and the launch of HBO Max being what brought it to completion. Zack Snyder was allotted, it was like what, like $10, $18 million, something like that to come in and finish it. He forfeited his payment to put it all into the movie, even to make it as much as he could put everything into it. That's why it's over 4 hours. Because if this is it, I'm going to give you everything I got, everything I can give you. Amazing. 4 years strong. Still think about it, still talk about it. Got the Zack Snyder Aquaman just sitting right up here. I'm still doing short term. I'm opening Zack Snyder comics, like Snyderverse exclusives and books that I missed over the years and stuff. It just doesn't go anywhere. Paul, serious question. How many times have you seen this movie?
5 or 6, maybe.
That's 20 hours. That's almost an entire day of up to a literal day of my life.
Mm-hmm.
A whole ass day of this brief little time in existence that you get to exist on this planet. You spent watching this film, rightfully so. Some people climb Mount Everest. Some people travel to the great big trees on the West Coast, or they want to go to Antarctica. You spend a day watching Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Loved it.
Rich, 20 hours of life, you can't get back. And I wouldn't want it back. You know, what's funny is if you go through my Instagram feed, every time I'm on vacation, I always post a photo when I'm firing this up. I watch it every year on vacation, like clockwork. I always watch it at least one time while I'm on vacation. I always take the same photo and post it up there. I feel that internet opinion, social media, and YouTube have really stopped people from just enjoying things. Saw Cap 4 3 times and really enjoyed it. Wow. Ain't nothing wrong with enjoying it. I think it was made to a slightly different standard than what, like, the Infinity Saga. Like, nothing since the Infinity Saga has been made to the same standards as the Infinity Saga. And for me, you can't really, like, that's why we've talked about, why I don't commit to doing, like, highly edited content and this and that. Like, if I do that, you can't not do it. Once you do something of this quality, like, I'm trying to stay consistent, you know, you can't downgrade. But yeah, I had fun watching it. I enjoyed it. It was a fun watch, but it's not one that I would personally go watch again. Probably I would watch clips of the Red Hulk fight scene or the little fight scene in the beginning, but outside of that, I don't think the story wasn't it for me. Life well spent. Yes, sir. Seen it twice, Herbie. It was good. Gave it an 8 out of 10. There you go. Yeah, that's crazy. 4 years. It goes so fast, man. It goes so fast. That means 4 years ago, I took off from work because I'm in control of the schedule at my job. The wife took off of work. We set our alarms for 3:45 a.m. We got up. We sat down, started drinking coffee, and fired this up at 4 a.m. when it premiered for the first time. That's the time it premiered here on the East Coast. It's 4 a.m. By 8:30 a.m., I was live streaming that Friday morning for the Legion's Lair. So, like, yeah, like immediate reactions, just overwhelming emotion. There's a lot of people popping onto that talking about it. It was bananas. It was something, man. What an event. What an event. It was fantastic. Yeah, Joe's seen it a lot at the theaters. Yeah. Yeah, I gave the new Cap. I think I gave it like a 6 out of 10. It's enjoyable. It's fun. Everything it lacks is in storytelling. But I mean, it's got a cohesive story. It's just got.
If I recall, I gave it 2 ratings. I gave it a Hulk rating and a Captain America rating.
Yeah, that's fair. Definitely fair. All right. I do want to point out this Justice League versus Kong versus Godzilla is coming back for round 2. John Jang has a direct market cover. Dan Mora also has a cover for issue 1 that looks like a companion cover to what he did in volume 1. This time with the bad guy kaiju and what looks like the Legion of Doom or Suicide Squad, potentially a little mixture of characters. And Paul, can you explain what this is?
That is Mark Waid's dream project. It is the new history of the DC universe. It is basically Mark Waid telling you what the new history is with everything that's happened in the past, since Crisis on Infinite Earths and Infinite Crisis and everything else that has happened. He's going to be telling us the new history. Look for, it's going to start in the Golden Age, obviously, and then move along. Look for covers from Scott Koblish, who basically is doing like a Where's Waldo type of a cover that basically will have everybody that you could possibly think of from that particular era that's in that particular issue of the book on the cover somehow. So
can you explain why it's called the new history of the DC universe? That's the cool part.
You go ahead. I'm not sure I'm
Well, after a Crisis on Infinite Earths in the 1980s, DC famously put out a 2-issue oversized book called The History of the DC Universe. And the purpose it was serving is with Crisis going from their years from 1938 all the way to when did Crisis in 86, 87?
86. Yep.
86. So that's a lot of history, but the universe expanded into a multiverse with all these worlds with different heroes, and they had the Crisis event and we took it back down to one world. So what was canon, what wasn't? It was potentially going to be confusing for a lot of readers, especially new readers coming in that might not recognize these people that lived on one world, but now they live here. And why is Power Girl so depressed? Like she got good reason. Well, the history of the DC universe was the beginner's guide to jumping into DC Comics. It explained the characters, where they come from, their backstory. DC had just, for example, purchased Charlton Comics, which means that's where you got Peacemaker, Blue Beetle, all these characters that were originally in a different publisher came into DC Comics through that event, and now they're there in canon. So they show you their backstory and all this. It explains, it's like a foundation of the universe. So with so many events that have happened from 1986 to now, we've had all kinds of stuff. We've had a 0 hour, we've had an infinite crisis, we've had a dark crisis,
we've had a final
crisis, we've had an identity crisis. That wasn't a too big one, but we've had the dawn of DC, we've had absolute power. There's been all kind of events. We've had the New 52, the Flashpoint, all these things, some of which really shook up the continuity of DC Comics. For the most part, they naturally kind of got back on the rails, but they haven't done one of these.
Right.
So what better time than now to give like the definitive writer at DC Comics right now, Mark Waid, who can't give that guy enough credit for being a professional. That man is a true professional. He really is. I couldn't disagree with him more in a lot of the things he says and does on social media, but he doesn't bring it into his comics, and he writes like better than anybody at DC right now, save for Jeremy Adams.
And he's a walking DC encyclopedia.
He is. He's A1. Like I love supporting the guy because he's a professional in every sense of the word when it comes to being on the clock. But he's putting it back in there.
And the original history of the DC universe was Marv Wolfman, was George Perez. If you've ever seen it, like every page that George Perez does is like could be a poster practically of that. In fact, funny how this works out, but we will be giving away a history of the DC universe on Guess That Key in a couple of weeks. So
the history of the DC universe or the new history?
The history.
We'll
probably do it together. We'll give away some of the new, and we'll also give away the original one as well.
When's the new one supposed to come out? This isn't a long wait.
Starts in June.
Oh wow! How many issues are they going to do? Hopefully, it's just like 2 and done. I hope they don't drag it out.
No, I think it's at least 4, I believe.
They should put it out bi-weekly. That'd be something fun.
Because there also is a different artist in every single. It's not going to be the same artist, like Jerry Ordway, he's doing the first issue for the Golden Age, but they're going to do a different artists throughout the different.
Oh well, if they're sectioning it out like that, that's a good format for it. Because like with the original history of the DC universe, it starts with like you're talking like starts with Kronos and the Guardians, like trying to look into the birth of creation and Kronos' hand coming out. They really start at the beginning, like pre-Golden, like we're talking the existence kind of thing, which was really cool. So it's going to be interesting because all of that doesn't necessarily have to be fit into canon now. It's going to be interesting to see because they're really making a huge decision. DC and editorial have been in a fantastic place, fantastic place. So this is really a huge decision to say we're going to lay down a definitive line through our continuity because for years, they kept it kind of fast and loose so that their creators can do whatever they want. Everything that's ever happened is able to be drawn from. Just do what you want. Play it fast and loose. They're not doing that now. Like editorial has a job to do, and we're going to do it. We're proving it by releasing the new history of the DC universe and giving you the definitive events. Everything in this is hardcore canon. Everything that's not in this, who knows?
You know what they should do? Here's what they should do. When they do the collected version of it, they should, like they did with the original, is they should get all of these artists to do a jam poster.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how wild it would look with how like different the art styles are across the board these days? Can you imagine having somebody like an Alex Ross piece next to a Simone DeMeo character? That would just be wild.
I mean, they did a little bit of that on the last issue of DC Comics, the Dark Crisis one with the tribute to George Perez. They did all the George Perez characters, each doing different things.
Yeah,
kind of like the one that they did, back in the 80s.
We have Rorschach there on the corner.
Yeah, because he was a last minute ad.
You have that poster, don't you?
I do. I have it. You can actually see it on my channel, but
Mhm.
it's actually framed. I have it. I actually got it, purchased it when it originally came out.
That's amazing, dude. That's wild. Have you ever looked in to see how much those things, the original ones, sell for?
I have not. I should do that sometime.
I'm curious. And the last thing I got on here, this is going a lot longer than I thought. I didn't know if I had enough stuff in here. We're gonna skip some of this stuff, but this one's quick. I had this one in here, just like the February top 10 list.
Mhm.
A lot of absolute on here, but we kind of covered that. That was kind of like a companion thing to the Rob Liefeld. You know, you have all three of the absolute titles in the top 10, Batman and Superman taking in the top 3 in there. That was pretty impressive to see sales wise. A lot of ultimate stuff in there as well. People are really shying away from the main stuff for the new stuff these days.
Mhm.
But speaking of the new stuff, saw this. I'm like, yo, we saw the end of Absolute Batman #5, which me and Paul get into on the DC Comics Deep Dive. You can hit the description and hit Paul's channel right down there and get the whole details tomorrow. But Bane is going to be coming up in Absolute Batman issue #9. We have Mr. Freeze in the next 2 issues. Then Bane is showing up. Look at that. That looks wicked. Look at the head.
Yeah.
Itty bitty. The venom works everywhere but your skull. You're limited by your skull. But yeah, that's pretty wicked. I'm excited to see what they do. It looks like Bane. It looks like
Yeah.
what you expect from
Yep.
Bane. Like if Nick Dragotta drew Bane in the regular universe, I'd expect him to look like this, but the size difference. I don't know if this Batman is standing up. He's a little hunched, but
Yeah.
how big is Bane going to be? Is this dude going to be like 20 feet tall?
Yeah.
With this being Batman AF, is this going to be Bane AF? This could get wild. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Absolutely.
But yeah. So I got a big stack of books here, and it's already after 10 o'clock, so I don't see us getting into them tonight. We're going to roll these things over for sure because I have to work tomorrow, and this is, for me, it's already master's time. Paul, this was my last off weekend for like a month.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, like every other weekend I'm off. But so that means I work next weekend, and the one after that is a master's weekend. Or next weekend, then a master's weekend, then a work weekend, and then I have to let all my staff off before I try to take an off day. So it's going to be like 4 weekends straight of working. So I'm going to be doing like 4 weeks straight of overtime. So hell season starts tomorrow. At least I'll still have Tuesday and Friday off. Hopefully. What is this coming Friday?
Masters weekend is 3 weekends.
Mm-hmm.
But I know Masters runs the entire week. We only, obviously, the actual event runs Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but
it runs the
entire week. Yeah.
Yeah,
It runs the entire week.
the official tournament kicks off, but they have the practice rounds, they have the chip and putt, they have the females
Pro-Am or
tournament.
whatever.
Yeah, they have all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Masters kicks off
the 10th.
Like kicks off hardcore on the 7th.
Yeah.
But we'll go from, I'll have like, I don't know, because no one moves in Augusta until like that week, because spring break coincides with Masters week. So on the 3rd, I'll probably have about 20 customers in the kennel. So like, granted, how many pets they have, whatever. Some people will have multiple pets, blah, blah, blah. On the 4th, come 6 o'clock, I'll have over 150 animals in that kennel.
Everybody getting out of Dodge, right?
I got 50 animals in the cat house alone. So I'll have got 38 bottom runs in the kennel. And a lot of those, a lot of customers have multiple pets and they want them, because the rooms are big, they want them to share a room because they get along, blah, blah, blah. So 38 with a lot of them having multiple pets in them. And then there's like 40 rooms for little dogs. Same thing. Some of them have multiple. So it's just, there'll be I'll be well over 150 animals. I think I might be hitting record this year. It's going to be nice. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it being over. It's got to get here to get over, right?
It's true.
Knocking down that big money, though. Well, working for that bonus. That's a good thing about living in Augusta. We have, you have Christmas bonuses, but we have what's called a master's bonus. And that's my Christmas bonus is nice. Master's bonus is what you work for. That's the nice one. Well, y'all, we're gonna wrap it up there tonight. Hope everyone has a good one. I appreciate everyone coming and hanging out. Paul, you got anything else?
Can't think of anything. We'll see you Wednesday night.
Wednesday night, where we have aggressively relaxing and W Vogs on for Guess That Key. It's going to be a fun show. Hope everybody can come over, hang out. And until next time, he's Paul. I'm Mark, but we are Legion.
Is that it? Is that all you got?